So, hello everybody. Thanks for joining us in our series of Meet the Speaker of Viva.com, the Viva-event.com. This afternoon we have Tony Fiedler here, which is our great delight. We've known Tony for a number of years and been very aware of the superb work that he does in quite a wide-ranging field. But I think it's best if Tony introduces himself. Is that okay, Tony?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi guys, and thanks to Sue and Sheila for doing this interview with me this afternoon. I guess people are watching it at whatever time you're watching it, but hi to everyone. I'm Tony Fiedler, and I guess the best way to describe me is a practitioner of the three principles, or a three principles practitioner, if you like. The work I do primarily is really working with individuals or groups of people to help them to plug back into their own innate health, innate well-being, plug back into a source within themselves that helps them to kind of navigate life's challenges and difficulties, helps people to have a better experience of life, a nicer experience of life. And more than that, really gives people the ability to find a sense of clarity when things are getting tough, when things are difficult, and find their own solutions to problems. I've seen that happen time and time again. So really, I'm one half of an organisation called the Three Principles with Life and Soul, and I work with private clients, individuals one-to-one, do seminars, group work, public speaking events, whatever. But also I think what's I suppose unique for me, if it is unique at all. But I also do a lot of work with people that are in a marginalised, disadvantaged position. So I've done this work, Three Principles work, with people that have been in a homeless position, people struggling with mental illness, people going through things like domestic violence proceedings. So seeing the application of what we're pointing to and talking about here in a vast different field, from high-end professionals to people that are really kind of struggling with life, and people just suddenly having better experience of life, through this understanding.
That's superb, isn't it? And we're looking at with the Viva event towards the health of the helper, quite specifically in a way, and that's a broad umbrella. But in the work that you are involved in, have you really seen this impact not just on the people who are in crisis and you describe as marginalised, which I think is fair, but to the people surrounding them, family, professionals, just whoever's in contact, really?
Wow, so interesting. So I could talk forever about this, and I know this is just a short call. Yes, is the answer to that. I guess from my own experience as a partner and a son and a brother and an uncle and a great uncle, I've seen my relationships with him all around me just become better, richer, more loving, just through me being less caught up in my everyday thinking about life. But also I have seen people from different professions come across this understanding, including my partner, my business partner, Steve Adair, who is a psychotherapist by trade, and I introduced him to these three principles, and he's also a speaker, so I'm sure he'll share his own story. But again, another helper coming towards this understanding of all our answers within us, wisdom lies within us, and him completely transforming the way he works with people to help us that I'm not necessarily talking directly about the three principles. I'm working alongside, and only last week I had the experience of working with a client who lives in a hostel through being homeless, and somebody observing the session I was doing who realised there was something different about this. It was much more positive focus. It was much more of a focus on what the person had. And I'm not just talking about kind of what the person had in terms of their strengths and their abilities, but more than that, that within them lied health and well-being too. this person really saw that. They really got a feel for it, and they came back and really said, what was, you've obviously had lots of training in different things, and they were off the mark in what training they thought I'd had, but they felt there was something very different. There was a different feeling there. More than that, they've been working with this client themselves for a time, and they hadn't seen that person unlock their own potential so readily and easily. I think they just noticed that there's something deeper had happened. This person suddenly came up with their own solutions, was more present to the moment, but also more present to the work that needed to be done. And that was really noticed. So sorry, very long answer to your question. I guess it's going to be a long answer to that. But absolutely, this benefits, the three principles in innate health understanding works in any field and is working in any field. And the potential for it to help the health of the helper is just incredibly huge, massive.
Oh, brilliant. And our vision for the Viva event is that over the course of 3 days, you referred to the feeling more than once in your reply. And that's what we're really hoping that we're pretty confident that this event will offer for people, to be able to become immersed in that feeling, and then to be looking for the bits and pieces that make sense to them. So asking the questions that make sense to them. This isn't a performance. This is not a conference. This is participatory. So having a wide range of speakers and having people like yourself tell us stories. We're fascinated by people who tell us stories of what made a difference. And the observer you mentioned, they caught on to something pretty quickly in one session with you working with a client. And we've got 3 days with plenty of time built in for reflection and for connecting. So we're just thrilled to have you along, Tony. And just that little snippet there, I could sit here for another hour, but we said we'd keep these short. So thank you ever so much for sharing this this discussion with us. And I'd like to thank everybody who's tuned in to listen, and to please get in touch with us if there's any questions, or you would like to follow up, or you want to connect with Tony. I'm going to ask him to tell you how to do that. But the email address is info@thevivaevent.com. The website is www.thevivaevent.com. So we try to keep that pretty simple. And we would love to hear from you. We'd love to see you in Spain in November. And that's about it, really. I think we can wrap that up, unless you have a comment, Sheila.
No, not at all. Just to say thank you to Tony for being here. And I really loved what you said about unlocking the potential, because I think that is key, and it's so different to what so many people are teaching, offering tools, a big tool bag, and there you go, off you go, and you can use these tools and make your life better. I think what we're saying at our event is you can drop that tool bag. You can drop that tool bag. You can pick it up again if you want to at the door, but when you come into the Viva, you'll hear that we're going to take lots away from you and keep it really simple. And I think that's what I heard when you were speaking, Tony.
Lovely.
I don't know if that's what you were saying, but that's what I heard.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Sheila.
Very welcome.
Okay. Cheerio for
See
now.
you in November.
Bye.
Bye.